Hello everyone, I am Dr. Prashant BRK. So today we will discuss about the Medtronics Supraneo Tibian nails. So the incision is taking two finger beds superior to the superior pole of patella, and the quadriceps is split in the center and then distracted. And once the quadriceps is distracted, then we take this jig assembly. So this is the jig assembly. You see this is button here. So pressing this button, send the sleeve in and lock it. So once this is locked, just gently rotate it so that it is prevented from coming out. Then press it again and remove it. So there is a plastic trocar to prevent injury to the soft tissue and bone. And once this is gone inside, you can load this nylon sleeve. You have a slot here. Just see. Rotate it so that this doesn't come out. So unlock this, remove this plastic trocar, insert a honeycomb. Okay. So this is a 3.2 threaded guide wire. So you can see there are two markings on this guide wire. So this is indication for entry in a regular infrapatellar approach, and this is for a suprapatellar approach, which I will demonstrate you right now. So this is a sleeve for infrapatellar approach, and this is a honeycomb. There are multiple holes here for multiple entry points. So this first mark is for a regular infrapatellar approach. You see this black mark. This is for a regular infrapatellar. Second mark is for a suprapatellar. The first mark is for infrapatellar as shown previously, and the second one is for suprapatellar. So you have to ream till the second mark. So once the guide wire is in, you can unlock the slot, remove the honeycomb, and do a proximal reaming. This proximal reamer will have a stopper, so it will ream only this part. So this is a guide wire holder. You can use lock it in two ways. So next step is passing the guide wire. So pass the guide wire like this. So if there is a segmental fracture or difficulty in passing the guide wire, you can use this introducer, which is a very good instrument. So introduce it this way, and once it is gone in, then over this also you can pass the So once the guide wire is passed into the canal, you have to ream the canal with the flexible drill. So this, you can see this is a flexible drill, and this has an additional attachment in case of suprapatellar nailing. If the length is not sufficient, you can use this additional attachment. This is the tip. These are the reamer attachments. You can get them from 7.5 to 12 in 0.5 increments. Just attach the tip this way, ream. So next instrument that is used is for the one measuring the nail length. Once this is passed over the guide wire, it will stop at the nail entry, and whatever mark is visible here will be the length of the nail. So if you are not comfortable using this, you can use a conventional radiographic ruler. So this is kept over the tip of the nail. You can see measure the diameter of the nail using this slot, and this for the length of the nail. So if the marking is still here, we take a 385 nail. If marking is still here, we take a 355 nail, and this can be used to measure the diameter of the nail. You can see there are serial increments from 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So this should be in the D mode or the derotation mode. So unlike the conventional nail where the jig is facing medially, in this case jig will be facing superiorly or anteriorly. So there are 4 holes proximally. So the first one is a dynamic one, other ones are static ones, and even the static ones are locking screws. So to put the dynamic screw, you have to press this button and rotate it. You see a red dot here, and you can see a triangle shape here. The same one matches. So if you want to put the dynamic screw first, press this button and rotate this to the red spot. The red spot indicates dynamic screw. So when you go for a dynamic slot, you can see a triangle here. You can see the same triangle here also. Now I am keeping the sleeve, and then I will lock the sleeve. Drill is easy. So the remaining 3 slots are static screws. So green, so you see the square mark here. This corresponds to the static screw. Similarly, next is the blue or star mark. Once it's in the blue slot here, okay, lock it. Next is yellow or transverse lines, and rotate, yellow marking, lock it. If you want to check whether the nail is fully gone inside or not, there are markings given here from 0 to 15. So place a guide wire over 0 from 0 to 15. So place a guide wire over 0. This will show you the tip of the nail. The remaining markings are for the end cap measurement. So next step is assembly of distal locking. So this is the jig for distal locking. Just insert this jig into the slot here. Okay. Since it's a 355 nail, I have locked it in the 355 slot. After putting it in 355, just tighten this to lock the jig. So there are markings here for right and left, because if you are using right side, then lock it. So there is a wheel here. If you want to adjust the rotations, you can just rotate it clockwise or anti-clockwise so that the jig moves forwards and backwards. And to confirm the position of the jig, make sure that the guide wire is pointing towards this hole. If the guide wire is pointing this hole, that means your jig is perfectly assembled. So once you press the button, this is gone in. Just tighten this. Now the jig is locked. So once the distal locking is done, if you want to dynamize the fracture, then instead of reverse banging, you have a device here where you can achieve compression on table. Just take this instrument, and after dynamic locking is done, just rotate it clockwise. Please notice the dynamization at the dynamic slot, how the screw is moving downwards. So this gives us a compression of up to 7 mm. So there is color coding for the screws. The green ones are the proximal screws and they measure 5 mm in diameter. The blue ones are for distal locking, they measure 4.5 mm in diameter. So this is how you load this will tighten and hold the screw. Using this, attach the coupler, and the screw will lock in the nail. If you see, there are threads in the locking holes which will lock the screw and prevent them from toggling out. Screw till you reach the red mark. screw has fully gone in. For this 5 mm screws we use a 4.1 drill bit. So once you drill, remove the inner sleeve which is locked. Use a measuring device, measure the length of the screw, then use the appropriate screw. So for digital locking we use a 3.5 drill bit. So drill will stop, preventing further damage to the soft tissue. If you see, even the distal slots also have slots to lock the screw into the nail. If you are using a conventional intrapatellar nail and you want to remove the nail in future, you don't want the soft tissue or bone to grow over the nail and remove the implant easily, there is an end cap. This is a flexible screwdriver, you can just attach the end cap. So when we want to remove the nail, expose the tip of the nail and expose the end cap. Gently rotate this anti-clockwise and remove the end cap. Remove all the screws. Leave one static screw inside to prevent derotation of nail or toggling of the nail while keeping the extractor, nail extractor. So this is a universal nail extractor. Rotate it clockwise. Use a spanner to tighten it. Once you find that use a spanner to tighten this assembly. Once it is totally tight, then you remove the last static screw also. So when all screws are removed, just keep this slotted hammer and backstab the nail. So there is a special instrument given in the set. So this instrument is used to prevent the guide wire from coming out. You can see the slots here. So just press the instrument against the guide wire. This will prevent the guide wire from coming out while reaming. So there is another additional feature. So this spanner has 2 slots if you see. So in case your hands are wet because of the blood soakage and all and you are not able to rotate this screwdriver, you can use this. You can use it to lock the screw, and if at all you are stuck and the screwdriver handle falls off, you can use the other slot